Hi, I'm Ben. I'm half the team that's building Nemo. Nemo is a tool to help you work through complex problems. We think it can save you as an individual a lot of time where you're having to update lots of different views and convey a lot of different information to your different audiences. And we think it can really help teams to build a shared understanding so that you can identify dependencies early, make decisions faster, and avoid really expensive, messy mistakes. So before I get into Nemo, let's talk about where a lot of us spend a lot of our time in Jira. It can be really easy to lose sight of the goals and outcomes you're trying to achieve when you're working in Jira. It kind of ends up being a big list of stuff. It can also be really tough to keep track of how everything relates, whether you have dependencies between different projects or unexpected interactions where maybe multiple teams or projects are affecting the same area of your product. So I'm going to show you how you can import your Jira content into Nemo and maybe use Nemo to make better sense of it. So starting out, this is what you'll see in Nemo when you first sign in, when you first access the website. We've got a lot of great content to help you understand how to use the app, some templates and examples. I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to start out by logging in. This is just using my Google account. And then first thing, I'm going to use our command palette by hitting Command K. I'm going to import, and I'm going to import from Jira. I've got to configure that integration. This is using Atlassian's secure OAuth configuration. And then we're back in Nemo, and we're able to enter a JQL query for whatever we want to pull in from Nemo. So here we can insert, this is going to pull in everything from our demo project that's an epic that basically isn't done. So that import just took a couple seconds. And at this point, we've got nodes, which are the sort of Nemo concept for really anything. So one way to think of it is a node is a noun, and then edges, or the connections between them, are verbs. So we imported all of this from Jira, and you can see that all of these nodes are actually linked back to their respective issues. So invite my team is a epic that I had in Jira. That's represented as a node here in Nemo. That epic was actually connected to another epic with an issue link in Jira. So we imported that as an edge in Nemo. So you can see that there's a connection. So user provisioning with Skim requires that first we build the invite my team feature. Similarly, the premium plan requires that we build the metrics integration. So that's great, but we just kind of have a list of stuff in Nemo. It's not really better than Jira. One cool thing is that Nemo actually offers a variety of layouts. So we can sort of pull everything into a quick grid to deal with it. We can decide to rearrange things maybe. So we can think about, hey, these are all projects that relate more to, helping acquire customers. Maybe these things in the middle are more oriented around our enterprise offering. And then this stuff in the backlog is kind of generally important, but maybe not as clean a category. So anyway, we're already able to quickly visually group what's going on. You probably also noticed that we're pulling in labels. So in Jira, we had a couple labels for which teams are working on which things. It's easy to add labels and sort of get a visual highlight of what's going on. But we want to add some context. We were talking about focusing on outcomes. So I'm going to actually copy this. Imagine this is my full one-page strategy doc for the year. I can actually just paste that right in Nemo. Because it was a bulleted list, we already created it with some edges. And so these are all my 2023 goals. And so maybe it makes sense to connect each of my projects to the various goals that I have. I can also quickly convert this node into a label. So now I have a clear label for all of my goals. So I can say, all right, all of these things are my 2023 goals, but now I've got sort of a clear node for each one of them. And then I can connect and say that, inviting my team is going to help us expand the user base 2x. In the bottom left, we have a little pop-up. You can actually indicate with an edge type that inviting my team helps expand the user base 2x. Similarly, GPT integration and the referral program maybe all help to expand the user base. For enterprise offerings, we can do the same thing. So this is easy to add. And then let's say EMEA expansion and faster provisionings will help us maintain margins. You can also easily, there's nothing that stops you from saying, actually having expanding into EMEA is going to help us be enterprise ready, or that user provisioning with Skim is going to help us maintain margins. Maybe it'll help reduce support costs. So a really key thing is obviously when we're doing work, we want to do one project that accomplishes many positive outcomes, that's really hard to see in a lot of other tools. So at this point, we've quickly laid out a sequence of how our projects connect to our goals, and already it's helpful to see, actually user provisioning with Skim is helping on a couple different dimensions, a couple different goals that we have. We can also look at different ways of representing the dependencies that we might have. So seeing that the metrics integration is a dependency for the premium plan. And, as we're looking at it, we might realize that HIPAA certification depends on or requires, so I can hold down Q, it actually depends on the premium plan. Let's say there's a contractual requirement that only comes with the premium plan that is important for HIPAA. I can actually do my layout again. I can use the dependency layout, and now I can actually see that chain of dependencies where HIPAA certification requires the premium plan, which itself requires the metrics integration. So it starts to become a little visually easier to see not only how does my work connect to the goals that I have, but also the order in which, or the progression that I might need to go through to accomplish those goals. I can also look in here to see exactly what the dependencies might be. So HIPAA certification depends on the premium plan, and which in turn depends on metrics integration. So I can actually see that in a focused way. So, if I'm talking to my team, I can maybe explain the order of operations or why we're doing things in the particular order that we're doing them to connect the work to our actual top level goals. I mentioned earlier that we had labels for our team 1 and team 2, our engineering teams that are doing all this work. Maybe it's not as easy as I want to see the teams that are actually owning the work. So I can actually convert labels to nodes. So sort of the reverse of what I did before with the 2023 goals. So I can convert the team 1 and team 2 labels to actual nodes. And now I can really quickly see which projects team 1 is doing and which projects team 2 is doing. I can also create a label, just call that teams. So now I've got a nice view of not only which teams are doing which things, but I've also got a nice view of which goals are happening, or which goals are being impacted by which projects. Nemo actually lets you show this in a table view. So automatically we pulled in the labels for 2023 goals and for teams. And so now we have a great view of here's how each team is impacting each of our top level goals. And what's great about this is there's really no schema here. So you can create this type of view for any type of dimensions. Maybe you want to layer in delivery dates or look at more dependencies or size of impact on different metrics. Any number of factors that might make sense or be relevant for your organization, you can model in Nemo because it's so flexible. We just really have those lightweight nodes, edges, and labels. So thanks for watching. This is the basics of how to use Nemo. There's lots more you can do, but we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at info@ynemo.com, but we're excited to see what you build. Thanks so much.